Good morning, dear students. This is Mrs. Mohaseb from Province Semi-International School. Today we have a new grammar lesson for grade 2. The lesson is some and any. First of all, we have to know that there are two kinds of nouns, the countable nouns and the uncountable nouns. Countable nouns are the nouns that we can count. Like what? Like chairs, pencils, classes. We can say like schools, houses, pens, books, copybooks, and so on. Countable means we can count. For example, I can say one chair, or two chairs, or three chairs, and so on. The other kind is uncountable nouns. Uncountable means that we cannot count these nouns. Like what? Like milk, water, rice. We can say also sugar, flour, and so on. These nouns are uncountable, which means that we cannot count these nouns. Okay? The main target is some or any. When do we use some and when do we use any? In general, we use some in positive sentences, but any we use them in negative sentences and questions. So whenever I have not in the sentence, I use any. I cannot use some. Whenever I have a question, I use any. I cannot use some. Okay, let's have some examples for this. First, some. Example number 1, we bought some flowers. And as we see here, flowers is a countable noun. We can count the flowers. We can say one flower, two flowers, and so on. So we can use some with the countable plural nouns. Okay? He is busy. He has got some work to do. Work here is uncountable. We cannot count work. Both of the sentences are positive sentences. We do not have not in the sentence. And we don't have a question to. So this is why we used some. Any. Example number 1, we didn't buy any flowers. We have didn't in the sentence, so the sentence is negative. This is why we used any. Example number 2, he is lazy. He never does any work. We have the word never, which is equal not, so this is why we used any. So some and any, both of them means a certain number or certain amount of something. They are used with plural nouns or uncountable nouns. So can we use them with the singular nouns? No, we cannot. Now, so we have some with positive sentences, like we bought some bananas. And as I said, bananas is the plural noun, a countable noun. And the sentence is positive. This is why we used some. He is busy, has got some work to do. It's also positive. But let's look at this sentence. We didn't buy any bananas. It's a negative sentence. We have didn't in it. So this is why I cannot use some here. I used any. He's lazy. He never does any work. And never is equal not. So this is why I used any. So we use some with the positive sentences. We use any with negative sentences. Okay? With not or with never. Now, in the questions. Usually in the question we use any. For example, have you got any suitcases? No, I haven't. Have you got any suitcases is a question. So this is why I used any. Okay? In the question, I cannot use any. But what about some? Can I use some with the questions? Yes, but in very special cases, only when I have an offer or I'm asking for something. Would you like some tea? This is not a question, it's an offer. When I tell someone, would you like some tea? Would you like some sugar? Would you like some candy, and so on, it's an offer. This is why I used some. It's not a question. It's an offer. Can I have some juice, please? I have please in this question, so I'm asking for something. It's not a question, it's not a normal question. I am asking here for something. So I use any with all of the questions, but I use some when I have an offer or I'm asking for something. Okay, only with offers and asking for something. Now, some exercises from the booklet. We have complete sentences with some and any. We didn't buy dots tomatoes. Tomatoes here is a plural countable noun. And we have didn't, we have negative. Do I use some with the negative? No, of course I use any. The other sentence, have you seen dots good movies recently? It's a question. What do I use with a question? Some or any? Of course, any. Third sentence, can I have dots sugar in my tea, please? I have please here. So I'm asking for something. It's not a normal question. When I'm asking for something, I use some. Can I have some sugar in my tea, please? Okay. Let's have another sample of questions from the booklet, the school booklet. Okay. Make a question. Yes, there is some bread on the cupboard. Of course, when I make a question, first of all, I omit or cancel yes or no at the beginning, and then I cross the first two words, the auxiliary and the first word, so is there. But what about some? Can I put some in the question? No. It will be, is there any bread on the cupboard? So I changed it some with any because this is a question. Okay. Another type of questions that we have in our booklet, change into negative. Once I have changed into negative, in most of the sentences I have to use any, especially in this lesson. It's about some and any, so I have to use any here. But this is a very tricky sentence. Read the sentence again, please. There is a bird on the tree. A bird. It's a singular word. Can we use some or any with a singular word? No, we can't. So how can we put any here? So first of all, we have to change this statement into plural. So there are birds on the tree. And then we make the negative out of the statement. There aren't any birds on the tree. I put not and I put any. There aren't any birds on the tree. So we changed the sentence into plural first because we cannot use any with the singular form of the noun. Thanks for watching. Please check the LMS for the PowerPoint presentations and videos, then answer the booklet page 18, 19 and 20. Thank you so much.